KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. And brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up on Primetime, Jotnya Mayor Jesse Blas indicted on federal charges related to bribery and drugs. Plus, dengue mitigation efforts take place in the Swamp Road area of Dedido. And tonight, a public hearing on a bill to help expand the island-wide beautification task force.
Off day and good evening, Guam. I'm Chris Barnett, and our top story tonight, an arrest warrant executed today for the mayor of Jotnya. This following a federal indictment unsealed in federal court accusing Mayor Jesse Mendiola Blas of accepting bribes and extorting a confidential informant posing as a drug trafficker. But as Adriana Cotero reports in court this afternoon, it wasn't just Blas who was accused of wrongdoing, but local law enforcement officers. Here's more.
Jotnya residents like Debbie Lujan left stunned.
I'm in shock. I don't believe what's going on right now. He was doing so good with our village and the people. I don't believe that happened to him.
A federal indictment unsealed today in district court accuses the Jotnya mayor of accepting bribes for a mailbox from a confidential informant identified as Brenda to smuggle in meth. According to the indictment, the mayor allegedly offered a second mailbox to Brenda and her, quote, purported drug trafficking co-conspirators in exchange for $15,000. Blas allegedly told her he had plenty of empty boxes and could change the assigned one each week so that the drug packages coming in wouldn't be intercepted by law enforcement. When Brenda stopped making payments, the mayor allegedly threatened to shut down her access to the mailbox. On March 21, 2019, the defendant told Brenda that if he did not receive $8,000 by the night, he would close the mailbox by the next day. The alleged crimes occurred between November 2018 to July 2019. After hearing the news, Mayor's Councils of Guam President Melissa Savarez traveled to Jotnya to meet the mayor's staff.
I'm shocked. I don't even know. I haven't seen. It's just what I was called and said the Jotnya mayor is no longer in capacity, here at the office. And so, of course, as a mayor's council, as an executive council, the vice president and I spoke. I said, I will head up. You check all the legal aspects of it, and I will just assure the staff that they continue to work and operate as if the mayor was still here. There's continuing to serve their community, provide residents with their needs as far as verifications are concerned, as far as setup for canopy and chairs. They will continue to make sure that their parks and roadways get cleaned. And that's what I'm here to assure them, that they will continue to stay in operation.
While Savarez was in Jotnya, Mayor Blas this afternoon was being escorted by federal agents into the federal courthouse to appear before Magistrate Judge Joaquin Manabusan and had no comment.
Thank you.
During this afternoon's arraignment, a witness was called to the stand to testify. The government brought forth FBI agent Rafael Fernandez. The government argued that Blas is a danger to the community, asking for the court to detain the defendant. Defense counsel Joseph Rosano argued that because they were nonviolent and non-drug charges, Blas should be released. However, the U.S. Attorney Office argued Blas abused his position of public trust and has ties with law enforcement and marshals. In the testimony, FBI agent Fernandez said the initial complaint was from an indicted female at the local detention center who now resides in Saipan. In a recorded interview with the investigator, the complainant said she was in a romantic relationship with Mayor Blas, and while at a barbecue with Guam Superior Court marshals, including then Marshal Joey Terlahi, Blas beat the woman up, kidnapped, and held her in a room for 3 days. As for the confidential informant, Brenda, that cooperated with the government, she alleged threats were made to her by Blas and local law enforcement officers. It was stated that for her personal safety, she has been relocated and is under government protection. Defense attorney Rosano asked if both alleged victims are no longer in Guam, is Blas a danger to them? Fernandez responded and said, quote, "Let me put it this way, not directly endangered by Mr. Blas, but by his associates, narcotic traffickers on Guam." The court concluded that based upon testimony and harm that's been alleged, the defendant is to be detained. Although the government requested that Blas be detained off-island, Rosano objected and the court denied the request. Trial was set for December 2nd. For now, the Mayor's Council of Guam will continue to provide guidance to staff at the office and review laws as to what could potentially happen should Mayor Blas be unable to fulfill his official duties. As for the residents like Tony Ariola.
Wow, it's sad, for his position.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Joey Terlahi is the Deputy Director of the Department of Corrections. He's also the son of the Public Safety Chair, Senator Jose Pito Terlahi. Senator Terlahi is the former mayor of Jotnya, and coincidentally, Blas was his administrative assistant. KUAM reached out to the senator, however, he had no comment. Meanwhile, KUAM has also learned that Mayor Blas is not to have any contact with DOC Director Samantha Brennan and Deputy Director Terlahi. Adelup at this time also has no comment. 91 grams of suspected meth confiscated after a raid in Derido, and arrested were Brian and Bernard Marasigan. According to court documents, police, along with federal task force officers, executed the search warrant in Derido on Monday. Brian told law enforcement that he allegedly would use and sell methamphetamines. Bernard was found with a glass pipe and a baggie with suspected meth inside. Both were charged with possession. Defense attorney John Gorman says the government has been holding his client, defendant Michael Lewis McCarran, incognito. That's what Gorman stated in district court after it took 32 days for the court-ordered transport to bring his client from Idaho to Guam. Judge Francis Tydinko Gatewood told the council that if they want to bring this matter forward, then to put it in writing. McCarran was a former active duty service member and Department of Defense contractor. He was indicted for enticement of a minor and attempted transfer of obscene material to a minor. 2 years ago, McCarran allegedly sent nude photos and a video to a federal agent posing as a 13-year-old girl. Now that the defendant's back on island, the court granted a 1-month continuance of the trial date, allowing time for Gorman to speak with his client. Trial and jury selection has been set for October 29th. Well, Ornat Chalampago has made big strides in lowering the risk of dengue infection. Now, that's according to the village's mayor, Jesse Gogui, and here's more. His village was the first dengue hotspot, as the first locally acquired dengue case was a student at a school in his village. But Ornat Chalampago Mayor Jesse Gogui tells KUAM News his municipality pulled through.
The residents in those vector areas have done a lot of the cleaning up, and we've helped most of them take care of the removal or disposal of their trash. And
KUAM News had received viewer-submitted tips about a dump site behind the mayor's office, but Mayor Gogui tells us the dump site was actually a staging area he set up to save money. The mayor says companies contracted to aid in cleanup efforts are charging a deployment charge for driving to sites where they pick up junk.
so if I have them go to 5 different locations, that's 5 different charges on top of the hauling of the tonnage that gets dropped off at these places.
Mayor Gogui also said his staff has hit hard in areas that could be breeding grounds for mosquitoes.
People are always concerned about the ponding basins around the elementary school, areas where there's heavy vegetation, and obviously when you go near there, there's mosquitoes hovering around. So we've cleared quite a bit of that. And so I think when the kids return to school, they're going to see a marked difference in hanging out in the playground and how many mosquitoes they see, flying around today as versus what it was like maybe a week and a half ago.
As we finished our interview with the mayor, the staging area behind his office was being cleaned up. Right before news time, the Joint Information Center confirmed that there are currently no new cases of dengue and that both Agata Johnson Middle School and Ornat Chalampago Elementary School will resume classes tomorrow, Wednesday, September 25th. Well, major mitigation of dengue underway as well in Swamp Road, Derido. Here's more on how the village mayor, with help from several agencies, is zeroing in on an area where a dengue infection was discovered. A coordinated multi-agency attack on potential mosquito breeding grounds in Swamp Road, Derido. Swamp Road, ground zero for Guam's second locally acquired dengue case. A long-time dumping problem area getting cleaned up. But did GovGuam bite off more than they could chew? Mind-boggling mountains of trash uncovered on Chamorro Land Trust lands, with Derido Mayor Melissa Savares telling KUAM News people who live in the area not so eager to have their trash unearthed.
That's why we have Guam EPA and Chamorro Land Trust working together to notify the residents. Some of them are hesitant about us coming, about DPW and the mayor's office and EPA coming into their properties. So they're not giving them any choices. It is Chamorro Land Trust lease land, and making it very clear to the residents that this needs to get done. But at the same time, we're having them come out and sift through it.
DPW, Guam EPA, the CLTC, the Dedito Mayor's Office, and even inmates from the Department of Corrections descending on Swamp Road. Dengue mitigation efforts underway for a week already, and the cost of cleaning up piling up.
I know that in Dedito alone, we've spent over $20,000 just in disposal of white goods, junk vehicles, and tires.
That doesn't include manpower costs. Mayor Savar is telling KUAM cleanup crews will not be taking everything they dig up.
We're taking the big items, tires, as you know, white goods, junk vehicles that could cause, could be potential areas for breeding, mosquito breeding, because they retain water.
Savar is saying when it comes to picking up everything else, the buck stops with land trust leaseholders. Items that could be breeding grounds for mosquitoes and some recyclables will be taken away. And Savar is saying she's already run out of vouchers for disposing of the junk. She tells us she's now using vouchers from other village mayors. Meanwhile, Swamp Road resident Louis Cruz tells KUAM he was surprised dengue traveled from Ordot to Dedito, but he says he's satisfied with efforts to mitigate mosquitoes.
I think they're doing a pretty good job. I like what they're doing. It's about time, too. This place got all cleaned out.
Mayor Savars did say dengue coming to Swamp Road may have been a blessing in disguise because now she's getting the help she's been asking for years. Stick around for more news here on Prime Time. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're going to be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're going to be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Dengue fever and illegal dump sites also came up at a legislative public hearing today. The issues raised during discussion on a bill to expand the Island Beautification Task Force. Our Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
The measure by Senator Kelly Marsh Titano would add a Guam EPA representative to the beautification task force, and it was agency spokesman Nick Lee who raised the connection.
We know that illegal dump sites have cumulative impacts, and we've often spoke about vector control, and some of these sites now serve as breeding sites. So I think this is coming at an opportune time to get awareness out.
Maybe this is something that the Beautification Task Force can really hone in on, is that message that we're dealing with some of these issues like this dengue fever issue is because those illegal dumping sites are breeding grounds. And they're very difficult to clean up quickly.
Both Titano and Lee acknowledge that manpower during cleanup campaigns is often a challenge. Lee suggests one solution could be inmates from the Department of Corrections.
That could be considered an untapped resource that we should be looking at, and it would go great with our ability to further assist the IBTF.
The Corrections Department is also on the task force, and Titano's bill would also include a Mayor's Council representative. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Leconto.
A bill to pay local war claims and another to raise the minimum wage are expected to highlight next week's legislative session. Senators approved the agenda today, noting that Speaker Tina Barnes' measure to pay out up to $7.5 million to survivors is still on file from last session. Yesterday, the Speaker sent her colleagues a letter with the names of 21 war claimants who have passed away since then, writing that survivors are fighting against time. The governor, meanwhile, has publicly supported local war claims payments, and both she and the Speaker are also supporting Congressman Michael Sinicholas's bill to authorize the Treasury Department to release millions of dollars in payments. However, that measure still awaits Senate action. Meanwhile, Senator Joe San Augustine's bill to phase in a $1 minimum wage increase in the next 2 years will also be up for debate. Several other bills and numerous appointments are also on the legislative agenda. The Department of Education was shorted over $2 million from the Territorial Education Facility Fund, or TEF, money that is much needed for the agency, says Chair of the Legislative Committee on Education, Vice Speaker Senator Talina Nelson. According to Nelson, they're working to see what agencies received money from TEF in the last fiscal year and also tracking where additional dollars can be made available for GDOE's FY 2019 loss.
If we're shorting DOE, it really comes into question, where is our priority? Are we prioritizing our people? Are we prioritizing our children? And if education systems are cut, then it's very clear by our actions that we're not. And so we need to show that, you know, our pillars that we run on, which is public safety, education, and health, are our primary pillars, and that we fund those fully. When we appropriate for Department of Education, we give them what is needed, and for them to be short $2 million, it is much needed money. It's not.
Nelson says she plans to send a letter to Governor Lulian Guerrero to address this shortage. Well, former Public Auditor Doris Flores Brooks has been appointed to the Public Utilities Commission. On a September 20 letter to the legislature, Governor Lulian Guerrero announced her intention to appoint Brooks as the certified public accountant representative on the PUC. Brooks' term would run for 6 years and is subject to legislative approval. Brooks was Guam's first elected public auditor. She served 5 terms as auditor. She ran for Congress, but was defeated by Michael Sinicholas in the 2018 general election. Now, the PUC regulates rates and procurement impacting rates for the island's utility agencies. Well, Dave Delgado is on the way with sports. Keep it right here.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Make every day a plus.
The University of Guam needs you to make a difference for our island. The Household Income Expenditure Survey, or HICE, needs your help. The HICE data is about us, the people of Guam, and our future. Participation in the survey will help every home with pay raises, create community programs, improve schools, and make living on Guam more affordable. If your home is selected, you have a voice in our future. All survey workers have official identification and signage on their vehicle, so if you see them in your neighborhood, say hi and ask how you can help.
All information is confidential and protected by law. If you would like to know more, call the HIES office at 735-2051 or 2060.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I have some bowling news on how you can register for the upcoming GHRA Bowling League. But first off, women's basketball highlights from the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse between Team Legends and Fuerza. Check it out. Fuerza and Team Legends met up in the first of two games held last night at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Fuerza undefeated at 4-0. Legends player Eva Atta hits the short jumper in the lane to try to keep her team in the matchup. Babs Kukendall brings the ball up court past the teammate Jessica Santos, who gives it right back for the basket off the backboard. Fuerza built a double-digit lead at halftime. Shea Banez works the ball around Barb Perez with the assist from Sheena Tiamzan. Team Legends on the break. Susan Lupola off on the shot attempt. Therese Cison trailing through the lane gets the rebound and puts it back for 2 points. Fuerza controlled the game in the second half. If they weren't putting points on the board inside the paint, they were hitting shots from the outside. Banez gets the bounce on the long three-point attempt. Lupola with the pass to teammate Envin Takashi, who answers with a shot from the outside. Fuerza remains undefeated with the 105-54 win. Tanea Henderson pulls up for the corner three. GHRA is looking for teams for their upcoming bowling league. The league gets underway this weekend, Sunday, September 29th at the Central Lanes Bowling Center. Deadline to register is tomorrow. Bowling on Sunday will start at 1:30 in the afternoon. For more info, you can call the GHRA office at 649-1447 or email them at info@ghra.org. The Triple J Auto Group Robbie Weber Youth Soccer League's 2019 fall season kicked off at the GFA National Training Center with over 100 matches played in 8 age divisions last weekend. Games are played every Saturday at the Harmon Field, with the first game of the day beginning at 8 a.m. and run well past 6 p.m. The league has been around since the 90s and continues to grow strong, with well over 1,000 players representing 16 clubs. Players in the U6, U8 girls and co-ed divisions, U10, U11, U12, U14, and U16 divisions. The U8 girls division is new this season. The Triple J Auto Group Robbie Weber Youth Soccer League Jamboree is scheduled for November 23rd.
Attention drivers, we have a shipload of vehicles on the way and need to make room. Buy now during Triple J's shipload sale. Take advantage of our best pricing on all Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. Plus 0 down and no payment for 90 days on approved credit on select new vehicles during Triple J's shipload sale. See PDN and post-print ads for details, or purchase your next vehicle online at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome, some conditions apply. Triple J Auto Group, customers first.
Half a day, naanho si Judy Flores, tauto in Alohan.
I came here in 1957 when I was a child. My parents were hired as contract teachers, and I was immersed in the village life. I learned to speak Chamorro because everyone spoke Chamorro then. We do have more than just sun, sand, and shopping. We have a spirit here that people can definitely feel. The Hafaday spirit embodies the history, the culture, the language. Food is also a very important part of the culture. You offer food. That's the package altogether. The Hafaday spirit is how the people welcome a visitor, a stranger, and make them feel at home. And I've always felt that, especially in Alahan, and I believe that the Hafaday Pledge is creating that throughout the island.
What are you gonna do now? How are you gonna push? How are you gonna live? It all depends on you. You ain't got time to be complaining. You ain't got time to be angry. So if you feeling weak and you in that dark place, you better find the light within yourself, because when it's all said and done, we are all brothers and sisters in battle. I ask you to be strong. Whatever challenge you face, there is no obstacle greater than you. Be productive, be powerful, and from the bottom of my heart, my name is Coach Payne, and I'm asking you to conduct your business. Go!
And before we close out the news tonight, you know how we do. Our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
On this Super Tuesday, we say happy birthday to the following Guamanians, so congratulations to you all. Led off by Riza Nicole Pelonio. Happy birthday to you. Also, happy birthday 5-0 to our friend Ron Meno. This comes from your wife Joanne and your daughter Connie. Facia Marie Martin, wishing you everything happy today and always. Happy birthday number 26. Happy birthday, Faye. Love you always, your family, including us here at KUAM. Dallas Cawthon has a birthday today, so we wish Dallas a big star. Get it? Star. Dallas, happy birthday to you. Mako Cepeda, happy birthday from your work family and, assumedly, all of your friends and family. Also, Jesse Joe Gumabon Bias, happy third birthday to J-Joe from your Gumabon family, Papa, Grandma, Mommy, and Alfie. And also, Leia Flora Crisostomo. This birthday shout-out comes from Ma, Papa, and Uncle Rico. And lastly, but certainly not least, happy belated birthday wishes tonight going out to Maya Jean Taitano. Happy belated birthday, Maya. Love, Sam.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Now, please make sure to include with your photo your name and your birth date. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the KUAM News Desk, but stay tuned. Our favorite Jason is on the way with Extra.
Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafaday and hello everybody, I'm Jason Salas and this is Health, Home, and Lifestyle. And of course, we get started with your friend and mine, Nurse Jen Artero, which by the way, she's got an awesome podcast. We want you to check it out on the KUAM Podcast Network. Just go to SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify and search KUAM Podcast Network and subscribe to Jen's podcast. Really, really good information, as she has on this segment of Health Check.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Hafaday, I'm Nurse Jen. The latest article by Elizabeth Williams reads, "Childless aunts are the most undervalued women in America." According to the latest research study by NCBI, childless women have been found to have an increased risk of breast cancer, with alarming statistics of increased morbidity from uterine, ovarian, and cervical cancer. In 1969, people were alarmed to find out that nuns were more likely to die from cancer due to their uniquely high risk of never having delivered a baby. Bottom line, the female's body has a reproductive tract that was designed for pregnancy and lactation. So Dr. Phillips Hannaford from the University of Aberdeen determined that if he put these same nuns on birth control pills, that it actually lessened their risk of getting cancer. However, the CDC estimates 80% of women that don't have children fall under the category of childless by circumstance, not choice. Some reasons a woman may struggle with getting pregnant can include being of an advanced age, having endometriosis, blocked fallopian tubes, inability to ovulate, or it could be from male spousal infertility. And some are unable to have children due to biology, medical complications, or maybe by circumstances such as not finding the right partner. Many small studies have shown a relationship between infertility and mental distress due to depression, anxiety, and mood disorders. In addition, data shows that childless female clients tend to have more hospitalizations for psychiatric disorders than a woman who has had at least one child. Does society judge these women? Why is motherhood considered to be the only source of happiness? Good news. Numerous studies found that childless aunts have actually made extended families happier. This is because when parents get overwhelmed with the grime and the hustle of parenthood, there's always that one favorite aunt that gives unconditional support and provides a positive influence within the family dynamics. If biological children is not in your plan, I urge you to devise a cancer prevention plan with your OB/GYN doctor today. I'm Jennifer Artero, registered nurse, reminding you, don't wreck yourself, health check yourself.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
We've got much more coming up, so please stay tuned.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Cheers to WineFest 2019 at Hyatt Regency Guam. Enjoy an evening with wines from around the world on Friday, October 4th as Hyatt Regency's Grand Ballroom transforms into an international vineyard. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with over 150 wines for your sophisticated palate. General admission tickets are $88 and platinum tickets are $200 and are available at the Hyatt Deli or online at tpiguam.com. Purchase your tickets today. Must be 21 years or older to attend. Savor the wines of the world at WineFest 2019.
Okay, everybody, it continues to be National Preparedness Month, and that means just because the month of September has been dedicated so that you can and your family can stay safe doesn't mean that we're forgetting it the rest of the year. We have two very lovely local ladies, Jenna and Jamie, and I'm Jason, so we have Team J is in the house, all right? And Jenna, we've known you for years and everything like that. You have brought us a bunch of gifts today.
Yes, so we're displaying here the...
Technically, these aren't ours. You'll be giving them to somebody else.
Yeah, so these are the items that you would find in an emergency preparedness kit. So this is kind of a starter kit. We'll be having these at the National Preparedness Month grand finale. Jamie's going to highlight a little bit more about that event, and these are some items that we'll be giving away.
This is actually what is in this wonderful big duffel bag here, right, Jamie? And
yes, it is.
How many pieces are these?
the piece of the preparedness kit?
Yeah, like something for every occasion, obviously.
There's something for every occasion for all types of disasters. We've got your radios here, flashlights, batteries, canned goods. The only things they're missing are your important documents and maybe some extra clothes and some cash.
Okay.
Put in there.
And of course, that's standard practice if you live on Guam. If you know a storm's coming or something like that, gas your car, go to the ATM.
Yeah, so these are items that we'll have in our emergency preparedness kit, and we're actually giving them away at the National Preparedness Month grand finale.
Very nice. Okay, I'm sure you don't have 10,000 of these just sitting in a warehouse and, anybody that passes by. I wish it was that simple, but what are the qualifications and what criteria do you have for people that can take home this kit?
Well, aside from our contest that we've been posting for from grades kinder to 12th, we'll be giving these out at the finale. So you can come in. We'll have trivia games and all kinds of other games where you can earn a chance to win one.
Okay, and then for people who, for whatever reason, maybe they can't make it to the grand finale, or they're just looking at this and they're like, I think I can do that. It's a fun family project to be out. I mean, we're not talking about nuclear reactors and people go out and build themselves a Tesla or anything like that. Jenna, what exactly do we have here, and what purposes would these serve? Maybe just some of the more obvious items, if you
Sure. So in your emergency preparedness kit, and something that you can create at home, you're going to want to have non-perishable food items, some bottled water, enough for your family members and also your pets in your family. So include them as part of your plan. In here we have some toiletries. We have a butane gas burner so that you're able to cook, flashlight, a tarp, some cleaning supplies. There's a whole bunch of items here, but what we want to remind people is that you want to make your kit very specific to your family. So if you have children, babies in your family, elderly, persons with disabilities, those that need medication, you want to consider all of these when you're creating an emergency kit for your household.
And I'm thinking, just looking at these items and everything, this is something that you could find at any supermarket. You're not going to have to go to like 9 different places on the island and break the bank and spend $1,200.
That's right.
I'm thinking you could probably get all of this stuff for maybe under 100, and that's a stretch.
Yeah, and you can actually build it over time. So add a canned good, every month. You can build it over time, so it doesn't have to be one big purchase. But definitely check your emergency kit and build it over time if you can.
And this is actually very, very flexible, right, Jamie? Because I'm thinking this could be for earthquakes, fires, typhoons, what have you, right?
Yep, for everything, every type of disaster. So you want to be sure that it accommodates the needs of your family, and also you want to think about expiration dates.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, because we can have a can of Spam. Of course, they take long to get bad, but if you have Oreos in there or something, you don't want to be eating.
That's a good point. How often should people change out their disaster preparedness kits? Because there's a lot of people, obviously, who stay vigilant and they have one of these already. How often should they kind of swap it out and put in a new one?
I know at our office we check ours every 3 months, and just to kind of check expiration dates. We use the items that are in there and then replace it with something else.
Okay. So every 3 months, so that's okay. So you change your disaster preparedness kit and you change the oil in your car every 3 months. That's the rule. Okay, Jamie, how about storage? Because if you're someone who lives with an elderly person in your house, or you have several young children, and maybe you don't want the little ones getting into some of the more dangerous items like the batteries, or maybe if there's a pair of scissors. Where should these kind of things be stored?
Well, actually, what we do promote is to have them stored in an area where it's easy to take away when it's time to get out of to evacuate your home.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's part of your disaster preparedness plan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Segue. Yeah. So how does this, Jenna, actually factor into the plan? And when people are putting those together in families, or they make an activity about it on a Saturday night. Let's make some hot dogs and we'll put together our plan in case anything goes wrong and everything. Where does this kit fall in?
Well, we really remind the community to include every member when building this kit. So have children put in what exactly they like. Have a charger for their iPad, coloring book, some things that they like to do. So they have a sense of pride in the kit that they built, and they're able to see where their efforts go, and they're part of the preparedness effort. The kit should be somewhere where everyone knows exactly where it is, and you should practice your plan. So maybe you can practice evacuating and practice and assign someone to evacuate and grab the kit so that they're able to get out quickly.
And again, all of this stuff is basically completely flexible and universal. So if you live in Dedido, you don't have a kit that's completely different if you live in Barragata or something like that. This is the one-stop Guamanian kit.
That's right. So come out to our National Preparedness Month grand finale. It's happening this Saturday, September 28th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Agana Shopping Center, and you might have an opportunity to win one of these amazing emergency kits.
You are a really, really good broadcaster, the both of you. Let me know when you guys want to get into news and everything like that, so I can, update
we'll switch.
I'll update my LinkedIn profile because I'll be looking for a new job. But thank you so much. We'll see you there, and thank you for doing this for the community. This is super easy to put together.
That's great. Thank you.
And
Thank
someone's
you
gonna.
so much.
How many kits are we giving away?
Giving away about 30.
30.
Yeah.
30 families are going to be really, really prepared for basically any kind of situation.
Any situation.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching, but don't go anywhere because we are back right after this.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Okay. Can you connect me to Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
It's the flavor that makes you go, woo. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
With confirmed cases of dengue fever on Guam, here's some tips from the Department of Public Health on how you can fight the bite. First, you should understand that dengue fever is non-communicable, which means an infected person can't spread it to another person. Dengue fever is transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito. So the best way to fight the bite is prevention by eliminating areas that are prone to attracting mosquitoes or areas where they might breed, such as near or in standing water. This includes buckets or tires, any sort of container, and even toys that may be outside and collecting water. Turn them over and clean them out. To keep mosquitoes from entering your home, Public Health recommends installing screens on windows. A 20/20 or 20x30 mesh is recommended. If you have a leaky faucet or toilet valve, fix it. If you have an indoor pet, make sure their water bowls and dishes are clean. Change out the water. Now the same goes for vases. And if you plan on going outside, it's a good idea to use insect repellent. These are just some tips from Public Health to fight the bite. For more information, go to KUAM.com.
This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Chris Perez Howard is a member of our island family who used his gift for words, and to put words down on the printed page, he used the gift of literature to express a very, very emotional time in his life, the loss of his mother after World War II. Chris joins me right now on the KUM couch. It is a true honor.
Pleasure.
And so you have actually had this book out, Mariquita, dedicated towards your mom, chronicling basically the time. This is one of the most well-read books about the Chamorro experience during World War II. And maybe if you can, in your own words, please, sir, if you would, what motivated you to write this?
You know, it's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. Is that when I returned to Guam after so many years, I didn't know anything about my people, my culture, the island, and even about my mother. I grew up without Chamorros being around me. My father was an only child, and I was in Indiana. And so I had lost all contact with my relatives, but for some reason, because I had spent 2 years when I was 9 and 10 on Guam and had reconnected with the family in 1950, in the 50s. And it had always stayed with me. And for some reason, I had this pulling, you know, and I said, okay, I'm going to Guam.
You can take the boy away from the island, but you can't take the island out of the boy.
I contacted my uncle, an uncle that was living in California, and I said, could you please have someone meet me at the airport, and help me, settle in. So I came, and he said, sure. And there were about 30 people at the airport.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I didn't know who they were. I knew they were relatives and stuff, but I had lost contact and everything. But through my time at that time, I started trying to find out who my mother was, about the island, about the culture. I just felt stupid. And so I started delving into the history and things like that. And then every time I'd run into people, they say, especially the older ones, they say, oh, I knew your mother, she was this, she was that. And which led me into understanding really more about how little I knew about myself and, about where I came from. So a friend of mine said, well, why don't you do the research, apply for a grant, and that way you'll have the time to do the research, and then you could write it at the same time. I said, oh, that's a good idea, right? So I did that. I got the grant. I started writing about it, about someone I didn't know. Well, when I started delving into it, I realized that it was the story of my mother, and it was very emotional for me.
I was going to say, was that cathartic?
Oh, gosh.
I can only imagine.
It was horrible. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm revisiting it is because it got to the point where I just wanted to get it finished. So I just sort of rushed through the last parts, just to get it finished. And that's why I'm very happy that I was able to revisit it at this time, because my emotional defenses are stronger.
And this book has
and I'm not afraid to cry in front of people
and
now.
That's absolutely fine. We encourage tears here at KUAM. Tears of joy and tears of acceptance. Mariquita has been out since 1982.
That's right.
The new version, if you could just hold that up, we'll get a shot of that. It's beautiful. Mariquita Revisited. What new information is there for people that are familiar with the story and have read this book and have shared this book with their family and friends? What new can they find in this volume?
Well, as far as new information, I think it also has to do with my finding out about myself, because this wasn't only about finding out and learning something about her. It was, who was I, during all of this process. And so when I got back to the book, not only was I able to reconcile my mother's character and make it more complete, but I also was able to add things that I eventually found out, things that I felt now, and to really clean up. I love the book. I feel that I have done the best job that I could with this book, and thankfully also for Lola Leon Guerrero to have supported and pushed me on this.
Well, let me just say, you have played the role of the dutiful son, so obviously you honor your mother's memory very, very well for this. I don't know if there's any better way for an artist to be able to honor his mother. And we want to mention the fact that Chris will actually be at the, can I see, it's a revisited volume, but the rededication, the reintroduction?
Relaunch,
okay,
relaunch
thank you.
yeah.
That's going to be at Mark at UOG on the second floor lobby on Wednesday the 25th at 5:30 in the afternoon. We're going to be there as well because we greatly look forward to celebrating this with you. So
thank
you so much for your time. And congratulations on doing this. That is a very emotional endeavor.
Thank you very
much. All right,
much.
Congratulations once again. An honor. And please stay tuned. We are back after this.
Community Calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más. MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
What are y'all in line for?
Oh, this place has an insane new toasted cheddar dish.
Wow.
All the food blogs are raving about it.
There's a new food obsession sweeping the nation.
They toast the cheddar in a cool way, but not like an obvious cool way.
And there's only one place to get it.
A toasted cheddar chalupa. Incredible.
This place is gonna be big.
Toasted cheddar baked on the shell of a chalupa. The all-new Toasted Cheddar Chalupa. Only at Taco Bell.
Break out your putter, your iron, and your driver and show us that you got this, Guam. Tee off at the KUAM Sports Charity Golf Tournament at the Onward Talafofo Golf Club on Saturday, October 5th. Showtime 12 p.m. with shotgun at 12:30 p.m. It's a two-man best ball and the ladies' flight. Entry fee is $220 per team. The KUAM Sports Golf Tournament on Saturday, October 5th. Special thanks to Coors Light, Calvo Select Care, Heineken Light, IT&E, Coca-Cola and Foremost, Royal Bix, McDonald's of Guam, Island Tinting and Paradise Auto Spa, and Nissan Guam. Enjoy responsibly. To register, scan here or visit our Facebook page or KUAM.com. House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Welcome back, my friends, to the segment that I enjoy hosting the most because two of my favorite lovely local ladies are here, Liz and Gina from Remax Diamond Realty. Half a day once again.
Half a day.
Those smiles just make my job so worthwhile. Okay, we are talking about construction.
Yes.
Assembling, building,
Mhm.
putting a house together. It is a transaction that has a lot of moving parts, literally and figuratively. But we've been talking about this, Gina, and you actually are using yourself as a test case because you are in the process of building a home. And is this the first time you've actually built your own home? Because I know you've owned many.
So this is the first time that I ventured into self-construction.
Okay.
Because normally when we've built before,
Doing it on your own.
Yeah. Before, when we built, we actually just went through the normal system, and that was Liz's experience last year, right? They hired they got their plans done, hired a contractor, and had their home built. But I actually decided I'm going to save money and do self-construction.
Now, may I ask, just to probe a little bit, is this a home that you will live in, or are you building this as an investment to be sold, to be rented out?
It's you know, and somebody said to me, gosh, housing here is so unaffordable now, you know, just for regular people that aren't getting any kind of subsidy to help them pay for that mortgage payment. So we're actually building a home. It's my son. My son's building a home, but we decided to save money. We were going to, so the government has different permits, and one of them is self-construction, and the point of it is you're supposed to save money by doing it that way, but I've learned a lot.
As have I. Okay, now, Liz, I got a question for you because when we talk about self-construction, you know, you guys are like, you know, the angels of optimism, right? Rose-colored glasses. I tend to be a little bit more paranoid. I'm very neurotic, as you know. So if I self-construct the home of my dreams, are there any risks that the banks will look at me or like insurers? As far as, you know, because I'm doing it myself, I may get hurt, I may die,
well,
I may change my mind.
When people do self-construction, if you're going to a bank, the bank will normally want to know, are you an approved contractor? Before they will loan. They will not finance. So that's a check on the no. So a lot of families want to do self-construction basically so they save money. But what families do is it's as they come into, as money comes in, then for example, they'll build the base, the foundation. And then when more money comes in, then they'll start on the walls. So some families will do it as the money becomes available to them. So they work They want to save money because they can't afford to hire a contractor. So this is one way families will do that. So in Gina's case, she's building for her son. In my case, we built for an investment, but we got a contractor. Contractors normally are bonded. They have to be bonded when you get your loan.
Which itself is a form of insurance.
Yes, the bank wants assurance that if the contractor defaults or isn't able to complete the construction, then what happens is the bonding will cover it. They hire another contractor, and the monies from that bonding insurance will help complete the home. So it protects the bank's interest and it protects the consumer's interest as well. But it is very critical. But when you're doing self-construction, it's normally self-funding. Or you've saved up to do this, and you'll do it in phases.
Now, Gina, if I still want to go to the bank in earnest, and I'm like, okay, well, hello, Mr. Banker, my name is Jason. I would like to build a house myself. I don't have that much in the bank to, be able to get all the raw materials. Do I still approach them to apply for a traditional housing loan, or are there different products that the bank would offer me that are more appropriate?
So before you get your permit, because last week we talked about the permitting process, right? The whole process itself, and I'm at the stage where I just about a month ago we got our permit for the construction. Before you do that, I tell people you start with the bank. If you're going to do construction, whether you've decided to do self-construction, let's just think about exploring all your means of getting this done, right? The first thing you need to do is go to the bank. And this is even if you weren't doing construction, just to buy, you start with the money. You know that saying, show me the money? Yeah, it applies to everything. If you're going to do construction generally, go to the bank. And I'm assuming you already...
I've seen Jerry Maguire a few times.
Yeah, show me the money.
Exactly.
But I'm assuming you already own the land. If not, that's a different program. But you already own the property. You've already verified that you have the utilities there, okay? And that's critical because if you've checked your property and you don't have the utilities readily available, then you really need to sit down and work your numbers backwards. And I've done this, years and years ago when real estate was slow. Imagine, it's not like that anymore. I used to help families who already had their land. I used to sit with them and we would work out a floor plan based on their budget. So the first thing we did was show me the money. When your construction is done, how much money is the bank going to give you? And we'd work our way backwards, okay? If that's your budget, let's take out for the utilities first. What's a house without utilities? So let's minus that off the top.
Basically a shack.
Yeah. Well, you won't, if you're not going to get a occupancy permit if you cannot connect your utilities.
Which is actually wrong because I know many people who have shacks and they have utilities.
And they have utilities. Yeah. And Liz and I, we've actually encountered in the past, you would get your permit and if you didn't know how to read that correctly, sometimes it would say, well, you're going to get the permit if you do ABC, where in terms of the utilities, and people didn't understand that ABC might cost $30,000 to $50,000 just to get your utilities on.
Tell you what,
so start with that.
Yeah. Can we do a part 2 of this conversation though? Because obviously we're just scratching the surface. So make sure if you're watching this on YouTube right now, check out the next video because we are going to continue our discussion about construction.
KUAM TV 8.